What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Brian Mello with Marty's Buick GMC and Chevrolet, and in today's video, we'll be checking out the very first, or I'm pretty sure it's the very first, modified Hummer EV Edition 1 pickup. Now, if you're new to the channel, or maybe you're just coming back for more, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe for fresh General Motors related news and content every single week. Now, let's get into it. All right, so since December, for those that aren't aware, GM has been delivering new Edition 1 Hummer EV pickups to all of its dealers across the country, or at least those who had orders for one. And it certainly didn't take long for someone to get theirs and then make it their own, because what we're looking at right here is, of course, a 2022 Hummer EV Edition 1. But if you're familiar with them at all, the very first thing you're sure to notice that this one's a little bit different. And that's because it's the only Hummer EV Edition 1 that's not white. And that's because the owner of this truck, who goes by the username Malaligned on the Hummer chat forum, wasted absolutely no time taking delivery of his Hummer and making it his own by wrapping it in gloss black. Now, in addition to the wrap, we've also got a set of 24x11 fuel runners, powder-coated in bronze to match the Edition 1 theme, and those are actually wrapped in 35-inch Federal MTS tires. Those are actually the tires, I don't know how many of you saw my tire shortage video, but those were the tires that I was originally trying to get on my truck, but they were sold out at the time, so kudos to him for getting a hold of those things. I love the way they look. But those were actually mounted up with no additional lifting or anything required on the Hummer. So pretty cool there that you can fit 35s, 24s with 35s, no additional modifications required to the suspension system. And although the fuel runners aren't necessarily my favorite wheel design, if I'm being honest, I do have to give credit to the owner for taking the extra step to actually having them powder-coated bronze, because as far as my research, you could only get them in black. So paid a little bit extra, get them done in bronze, but they match up great with the factory bronze tow hooks and the factory bronze Hummer lettering across the multi-pro tailgate. The windshield received a clear protective film, which is a smart move considering how flat and vertical the windshield in the Hummer EV is. It just makes it a little bit more susceptible to rock chips. Anyone that's owned like a Jeep Wrangler or something knows. But the only other thing I really noticed on this build are the LED ditch pod lights, which are also just a nice little touch. Gives you that little extra bit of visibility if you need it at the flip of a switch. And you know what? I'm going to be the first to admit that I was very, very curious to see the Hummer EV pickup in black. You know, all we've seen of this thing is in white, obviously, because the Hummer EV Edition 1 only comes in white with the bronze accents and that white and like black interior. But after seeing it now in black, I definitely like it more in white. Now, before I get killed in the comments, this isn't to say it looks bad in black by any means, but I think it just loses a lot of the contrast you get when the truck is white. You know, if we're looking here, like you lose the separation between the roof and the body, as well as the separation between the body and that lower portion of the truck. And I'm well aware, look, I'm well aware that this is a complete personal preference. But you know what? We're talking about it, so I figured I'd add my 2 cents in. And let me know in the comments below if you agree with me or whether you disagree with me. But after 1,700 miles, the owner of the truck said he couldn't believe how many people were stopping by his home just to look at it, take pictures of it, wave to him, honk. So to say this thing gets attention might just be an understatement. But, you know, it should be expected with how hyped up this thing has been, how new it is, and really it's never before been seen on the road. So, you know, like any brand new vehicle, when it's something new, you know, there's going to be some hype and some attention around there. He also said he only had 3 real complaints with the Hummer. First of which is the power tonneau cover, which he said is a bit finicky and it tends to stick, which requires him to get out and pull in order for it to close properly. And at the cost of over $2,000, I think that's certainly something that GM's going to want to take a look at if it becomes a more widespread issue. Obviously, this could just be a single case, could just be something faulty, maybe something in the rail, who knows, something when it was installed. I would think that this is the biggest issue out of the 3 that he spoke about. I actually, for my Hummer EV pre-order, I picked the power tonneau cover, so I hope that's not the case for me. But the second issue is that he found the Google Assistant feature was really slow, and he said that 50% of the time it just didn't respond to him at all. And, you know, I've used the Google Assistant in the Yukons now, and I found it to be really reliable. So that's something I kind of want to, I don't know, I would like to see maybe not asking the right commands, but who knows? I'm just pure speculation. I know in my experience using Google Assistant, it's worked okay. But once again, I do believe that Google Assistant is going to get better and better. We're going to get over-the-air firmware updates. So if people do run into issues, that's when customer feedback and user feedback is really important in order to kind of iron those out and make things better. So not a huge deal. The last issue, which isn't really a Hummer EV issue at all, is that he found it difficult to find a place to wash it. And in the conversation, he was talking specifically about automatic car washes. I guess they've been turning him away and telling him no when he pulls up with it. But kind of interesting considering that he commented that he has an F-250 with bigger wheels, bigger tires, much bigger vehicle, obviously. So we're assuming maybe they're just concerned with the liability of something breaking, something going wrong. Who knows? At any rate, I thought some of you would like to see this thing. As always, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are, whether you like this thing in white, whether you prefer it in black. Which one do you are you with me? Are you against me? Let me know. Also, if you have a Hummer EV Edition 1 pre-order, there have been a lot of dealers who have been getting customer orders in and then marking the vehicle up 50, 100 grand, and the customer is kind of stuck. Friendly word of advice. Find a dealer who will not mark the vehicle up. We'll give it to you in writing, and you can call the GMC EV Concierge. I'll leave the number in the description below, and you can change your dealer. As long as the vehicle hasn't been built yet, you can change the dealer to another dealer who isn't going to mark it up. Free plug, Marty's Buick GMC in Massachusetts will not be marking up anything over MSRP. So if you're local to me and you want to move your Hummer EV Edition 1 reservation to Marty's Buick GMC in Kingston, Massachusetts, feel free to do that, and we'll be happy to take your order. And no, we will absolutely not charge you $1 over MSRP. Last thing, if you're still here with me, if you could smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Be sure to check out my friends over at gmpartsdepartment.com. And I will see you all in the next video. Thanks again for watching, guys. Take care.